Your dog ran away from you. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it happens every single time you open the front door or unclip the leash. And every time it happens, you tell yourself the same thing. They are just curious. They need more exercise. They will come back when they are ready. Here is what no one has ever told you. Your dog is not running away from a place. Your dog is running away from something you are doing or not doing every single day. And the reason most owners never fix it is because they are solving the wrong problem entirely. There are 7 reasons dogs run. Number 1 will change the way you think about every escape, every bolt, every time they refuse to come back when you called. Number 7 might be the one happening in your home right now. Let's begin. Welcome to PAW'S Mind. If you are new here, subscribe right now because we go deep on what dogs are actually telling you, the reasons behind the behaviors that confuse, frustrate, and break your heart the most. We are going through 7 real reasons dogs run. Some of them are environmental. Some of them are biological. And one of them is relational in a way that is going to stop you mid-breath. I promised you number 1. That one is about what your dog believes your relationship actually is. Everything else on this list is building toward it. Stay with me. Reason 7, they have never been taught that coming back pays. Why does your dog bolt and then ignore you when you call? Most owners assume their dog knows what come means and is choosing to disobey. That is not what is happening. Here is what is actually happening. Every time your dog ran away and you finally caught them, something happened immediately after. You grabbed their collar. You put on the leash. You went home. You may have scolded them on the walk back. In your dog's brain, the sequence is precise. Returning to you ends freedom. The recall cue has been paired, dozens or hundreds of times, with the experience of the fun being over. Research published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that dogs whose recall was consistently followed by neutral or aversive outcomes showed significantly lower response rates over time compared to dogs whose return was paired with high-value rewards, regardless of how many repetitions the command had been trained. You have not failed to train the word. You have trained the wrong meaning into it. The running is not the problem. The recall is, and the recall can be rebuilt. But not until you understand what you accidentally taught. But that is not why most dogs run in the first place. The next reason goes deeper than training entirely. Reason 6, their environment is more stimulating than their life at home. Why does your dog seem perfectly content at home right up until the moment the front door opens? Dogs are problem-solving animals. Their brains were shaped over thousands of years to track, to sniff, to navigate, to make decisions across complex environments. Domestication moved them indoors. The drive to explore did not come with them. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. The region of their brain dedicated to processing scent is proportionally 40 times larger than the equivalent structure in a human brain. The moment your dog steps outside, they enter a sensory world of almost incomprehensible richness. Every fence post, every patch of grass, every parked car is a living archive of information. And most domestic dogs spend the vast majority of their day in an environment where almost none of that capacity gets used. A study from the University of Bristol found that dogs who received daily mental enrichment, scent games, novel environments, decision-making challenges, showed measurably lower stress hormone levels than dogs who received only physical exercise. The outside world is not pulling your dog away from you. It is offering them the only thing their brain has been craving all day. A dog whose needs are met at home does not bolt for the gate. A dog running on cognitive empty does. Keep watching. Because reason 5 is where things get uncomfortable for most owners. And it brings us one step closer to number 1. Remember what I promised about number 1. That is the reason that has nothing to do with training, nothing to do with stimulation. It is about a question your dog has been trying to answer every time they run. Stay with me. Reason 5, they are in a drive state and you cannot reach them. Why does your dog seem like a completely different animal the moment a squirrel crosses their path? Most owners believe their dog is being stubborn, or that the dog is choosing the squirrel over them. Neither is accurate. What you are watching is not a decision. It is a neurological event. Dogs inherited what behavioral researchers call the predatory motor sequence. Search, stalk, chase, grab, bite, dissect. Domestication dialed down the back end of that sequence. It left the front end almost completely intact. The moment the trigger appears, a cascade of neurochemicals floods your dog's system. Cortisol spikes. Adrenaline spikes. The parts of the brain responsible for learned behavior, for trained commands, for social compliance, are temporarily drowned out by a system that is millions of years older than any training protocol. In that state, your dog is not ignoring you. Your voice is not even registering as meaningful. You are, in that precise moment, less real to them than the movement ahead. This is why training must happen at threshold distance, before the drive state activates, not during it. A dog mid-chase cannot be recalled. A dog who has learned that you become interesting before the trigger fires can be. But there is one reason dogs run that has nothing to do with drive or boredom or training gaps. And most owners never consider it at all. Reason for something in their environment is causing genuine stress. Why does your dog only bolt in certain situations, at certain times, near certain people or places? Running is not only a pursuit behavior. It is also a flight behavior. And for a significant number of dogs who are labeled escape artists, the real driving force is not curiosity or prey drive. It is fear. A dog who is chronically stressed at home, whether from unpredictable conflict in the household, inconsistent handling, past trauma, or an ongoing aversive they cannot escape, will seek distance from that stress the moment a gap appears. The running does not look like fear. It looks like excitement. The dog bolts fast, ears up, tail moving. But the body language of flight and the body language of chase look almost identical from a distance, and most owners never check the difference. Animal behaviorists document this pattern consistently. Dogs who run exclusively toward specific exits or always away from specific triggers are almost always running from something, not toward something. Watch the pattern. The direction of the running tells you everything the dog cannot say out loud. Next is the one most people find the hardest to accept. Because it is about something owners do every single day without realizing it is teaching their dog to leave. Number one is still coming. And the closer we get to it, the more you will understand why it is the one that changes everything. Stay with me. Reason 3. The relationship outside the home has not been built. Why will your dog follow you from room to room at home but disappear the moment you are outside? Here is the part most owners have never been told. The bond between a dog and their owner is not a single thing. It is a collection of associations built across different contexts. A dog who feels safe with you in the kitchen has learned that the kitchen version of you is safe. They have not automatically generalized that to the park, the trail, the open field. Research on canine attachment behavior from the Family Dog Project in Budapest confirmed that dogs form what are called context-specific secure base relationships with their owners. Safety inside the home does not automatically transfer to environments the dog has not learned to associate with safety alongside you. Most owners only train recall inside the house or in the backyard. They test it for the first time in an open environment with full distractions and are confused when it fails. The relationship has to be built outside the same way it was built inside. Not assumed. Built. We are almost at number 1. And the last 2 reasons connect directly to it. Because they are not really about behavior at all. Reason 2. You have accidentally made yourself less interesting than the world. Why does your dog check in with you constantly during some walks and act like you are invisible during others? The answer is not your dog. The answer is you and what version of yourself you are on that walk. A dog that stays close, checks back, adjusts to your pace, chooses proximity over exploration, is a dog that has learned something critical. You are unpredictable in a good way. You might stop suddenly and produce something extraordinary. You might turn and jog away and make them wonder what you found. You might crouch behind a tree and wait to be discovered. You are a puzzle worth keeping an eye on. A dog that runs is almost always a dog whose owner has become the most predictable thing in the environment. Same pace, same route, same response to every pull. Reliable to the point of being invisible. You do not build a dog who stays close by correcting them when they leave. You build it by becoming the thing they cannot afford to lose track of. That is a daily practice, not a command. And now, the reason I have been holding back since the beginning. The one that changes the meaning of every escape, every bolt, every time they looked back at you and kept running anyway. Reason 1. They do not yet know that you are home. Your dog runs. And somewhere inside you, under the frustration and the fear and the exhaustion of calling their name again, there is a question you have never let yourself ask out loud. Do they actually want to be with me? Here is the truth that every animal behaviorist knows, but almost no one says directly to dog owners. A dog who has genuinely bonded with you, who has learned through hundreds of accumulated experiences that being near you is the most rewarding place in any environment, does not run. Not because they have been trained to stay, because they do not want to leave. The running is not a training failure. The running is a signal. It is your dog telling you, in the clearest language they have, that the relationship has not yet reached the point where your presence outweighs the pull of the world. That they have not yet learned, at the cellular level, in the open field and the busy park and the trail with 1,000 smells, that you are worth more than all of it. Research on canine secure base attachment published in Applied Animal Behavior Science confirmed that dogs with strong attachment to their owners consistently showed lower exploratory behavior at distance and returned to their owner more readily in novel environments. Not because they were recalled, but because their owner's presence was itself a source of active comfort. The dogs who stay close are not trained. They are loved in a language their nervous system understands. Every shared sniff on a walk. Every moment you became unpredictable and fun. Every time you rewarded the return with something that made coming back feel better than staying away. Every 3-second consent test that told them their signals mattered. Every frozen Kong in a crate that taught them your absence is temporary and your return is reliable. All of it, accumulated over months, builds a dog who does not run. Not because there is a wall, because there is no reason to leave. For your dog, home is not a place. It has never been a place. Home is a feeling. And right now, they have not yet learned that the feeling is you. That is not a failure you cannot fix. That is an invitation. Every walk from this day forward is the chance to become the thing worth staying close to. So the next time your dog looks back at you over their shoulder before they run, know what you are actually seeing. A dog who is still asking the question. A dog who has not yet received enough of the answer. You have everything you need to give it to them. You now know something most dog owners spend years trying to fix from the wrong end. The running was never the problem. The relationship was the answer. Share this with someone whose dog bolts every time the door opens, because they deserve to understand what their dog is actually saying. Subscribe to PAW'S Mind. We go deep on dog behavior every week. Not just what your dog does, but what it means and what it reveals about the bond between you. And if your dog comes to you and licks your face the moment you get home, most owners think they know what that means. They do not. That video is next.